Hello, everybody. We are Billboard Road Crew, and we would like to thank you for coming on this road trip with us. Today's pit stop, year-end lists. Today's drivers are me, Sundrop, RoadRunner, and Triple Nine. Say hello, fellas.
Hello.
Hi.
All right, and I gotta say, this was like a pretty big year for pop music, wouldn't you say, guys?
Yeah, it was a great year. Like definitely a lot of variation. Um, and yeah, it's been great.
Nice. What about you, Triple Nine?
I, for the most part, followed the rock and alternative charts more closely, but yeah, I can agree with that.
Nice. All right, so what do you say we just hop right into it, guys, and start reading some of our picks for the worst list this year?
Yeah, definitely.
Do
Sure.
you think you could explain some of the rules, Roadrunner?
Sure. So all of us have picked 10 songs that we thought were the 10 worst of the 100 top, the 100 biggest songs of the year. Um, so we have 10 worst songs, including some dishonorable mentions that we would also like to mention too. And I guess I could start us off with some of the dishonorable mentions.
Okay. And to be clear, we're also gonna have some of our entries surrounded by a color that's been personally assigned to us, so that you know
Yes.
whose pick belongs to who. So,
Hmm.
but anyway, yeah, you were saying Roadrunner. Why don't we just start off with some dishonorable mentions?
Yeah. So basically, I kind of grouped all my dishonorable mentions um, into one group. Um, so at least for me personally, I've never been a huge fan of country. So when a bunch of country songs landed here and there was nothing special about them. So um yeah, so I decided there were three country songs that weren't to make my um bad enough to make my top 10 worst hits of the year, but they still didn't really do anything for me. I would still consider them pretty bad. Um and yeah, because of that I don't have a lot to say about them. Those three country songs being One Too Many by Keith Urban and Pink, Glad You Exist by Dan and Shay, and Single Saturday Night by Cole Swindell. Yeah, these three songs just didn't do anything for me. Pretty bland, instrumentally, and they just had a bunch of problems all throughout. So
Hmm?
yeah,
Okay, okay. So why don't you say what? Could I possibly share mine now?
yeah, sure.
All right, cool. All right, so first dishonorable mention is "Crybaby" by Megan Thee Stallion featuring DaBaby. I decided to leave this one off because some people have defended it for being campy in its presentation. Plus, there is a bit
Hmm.
of energy placed in it, but for God's sake, I can't get past how juvenile it is. I don't think anyone is going to want to hear baby noises during hoo ha you hoo,
Yeah.
even if you're just trying to be funny. And of course, you have my obligatory "the baby sucks" comment.
Hmm.
Other my other DM, my other dishonorable mention would have to be "On Me" by Lil Baby. This song I actually chose to spare, and you'll see who I swapped out in a moment. The lyrical content is fine, but the beat just sucks ass. Like it just sounds very miserable and doesn't exactly put me in the partying mood. It doesn't even sound like the piano is on tempo. Like people really are gonna eat up anything that Lil Baby puts out.
Hmm.
And finally, my final dishonorable mention would have to be "Beautiful Mistakes" by Maroon 5 featuring Megan Thee Stallion. Yeah, Black Bear
Yeah.
wasn't gonna escape. Yeah, Black Bear wasn't gonna escape me.
Yeah.
I made a I made a meme earlier this year on how Black Bear keeps working with white performers I admire, like Charlie Puth and Lauv, but I'll take no issue with him writing songs for Adam Levine and turning out one douchey hit after another. That means he'll
Yeah.
stick to singers I'm not a fan of. The only redeeming quality is getting to hear Megan Thee Stallion chastising Levine as a terrible lover, albeit with
Hmm.
clumsy lines. And god damn, Maroon 5 just turns out to be a free space every year for people.
Yeah. So I actually do have some comments about your dishonorable mentions. So
Okay.
I actually really like On Me by Lil Baby.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's just On Me was finally like the solo hit apart from like the bigger picture that finally clicked. Like, yeah, he can be on anything and like he's gonna sound very charismatic and very confident. So for that, it's not like great. It's like Lil Baby on autopilot, but it's a joy for me to hear every time I put it on. And
Okay.
yeah, this is my hottest take yet, but I actually like. I think "Crybaby" is great
Okay.
by Megan Thee Stallion and the Baby because the way they trade off bars and lines, and it's all just so like really. It's all so fun throughout, and yeah, I think it's a blast, but I can also understand why people find it annoying. Um,
Okay. Okay.
Well, the way you're describing it, there is already a song by Megan Thee Stallion that does that way better.
which is
A song where Megan Thee
oh yeah,
Stallion and another rapper
oh
trade
yeah.
off sex brags.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
WAP is also great,
WAP.
but yeah.
WAP. Yeah. Yes.
Um,
Of course.
so
But anyway, I'm sorry. You were gonna say?
oh no, you go.
Yeah. I was thinking that maybe we could move on to Triple Nine's dishonorable mentions.
Yeah.
So I have a couple of songs that I considered for dishonorable mentions. The dishonorable mentions, if you will.
Great.
Hang on, let me pull up the list of what didn't make it in.
Hey, pulling up the list.
Right, so Beatbox 2, the good ones, Time Today and Throat Baby, I do not like them, but they are not going to be my official dishonorable mentions.
Okay.
Okay.
So, official dishonorable mention, Bang by AJR. We'll start with that one.
Okay.
Hmm.
So, I listened to, I forget which album it was, Neo Theater.
Yeah.
I listened to Neo Theater, and I thought it was not bad. Like, the lyrics aren't the best, but like just from the way the album sounds, it wasn't as bad as I had heard they could get.
Hmm.
But Bang is just, I maybe there's some like guilty pleasure fun. I know AJR has people who genuinely love them. Like
Hmm.
I've come across people like that. So if someone is listening and that's you, I'm sorry, but Bang is just a little. I I'm not sure what they were going for with that song, but just the way it sounds, something about the way the song sounds just keeps it from working.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then I'm really just putting this in here as an indictment of unnecessary remixes. That's a 3435 remix
Oh.
Okay.
by Ariana Grande
Okay.
featuring Doja Cat and Megan Thee Stallion.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I thought Positions was a decent album, solid project. 3435, I like it, but like this did not need to exist.
Mm,
Yeah. True. I mean, I
true.
don't think it like worsened the song though. Like it didn't make it worse.
Well, I just couldn't. It felt unnecessary to me. So
Yeah.
dishonorable mentions.
Mhm.
Fair.
Well, I guess not. I get why it exists, just for like, oh, we're putting these big names together
Hmm.
to get the maximum numbers, but yeah,
Yeah.
And then you had one more?
feels more gimmicky than something that came about organically.
Yeah.
Okay.
True.
And then final dishonorable mention, Without You by the Kid Leroy.
Yeah. Very fair.
Very, very fair. Very
Okay.
fair.
So, shall we start our actual list?
Yeah, let's go for it.
Um,
Right.
Sundrop, why don't you start us off at your number 10?
All right, here we go. So my number 10 on the list is "Good Time" by Nico Moon. All right,
Okay.
kicking off my list is one of several country songs from this year that make you question the genre's future. Nico Moon gives us a song about relaxing under the moon with his buds, which sounds like an innocent enough concept. But when that trap beat drops, I know I'm in for a bad time. For
Yeah.
real, I can hardly name more than one example where blending an acoustic country guitar with a vibrating hip hop beat has ever produced something catchy. The sound has peaked with Old Town Road, so why continue with it? Also, I have to
Hmm.
complain about Nico's singing performance. Like, there's nothing wrong with having a husky voice, but he barely tries to vocalize on this tune. I think all that liquor he drank by the campfire actually affected how well he can hold his notes. It's your
Hmm.
typical broke country song, but it goes the extra mile by trying to appeal to a wider demographic with its hip hop production, which I really don't believe is impressive to fans of the genre. Bringing on Shaggy for the remix certainly ain't gonna make things better. Good time is too stale. Good time is too stale to make anyone want to party. And if there's any good to come out of it, Nico reminds us about Dixieland Delight, which can serve as a perfect substitute for this.
Yeah. Well, uh, yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna say where, but definitely agreed. Yeah, this also ended up on my worst list. It is, yeah. I'm gonna get more into detail about it later, but let's just say agreed.
Okay. Uh, Triple Nine. What do you say?
I actually kind of didn't mind that song,
Okay.
but I get where you're coming from.
Okay. So Triple Nine. How about your number 10 pick?
So you guys know the Double Agent, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love Ethan.
So yeah, Ethan's great.
Mhm.
Love that guy. I heard him say, "Oh my God, Go Crazy" by Chris Brown and Young Thug. Chris Brown finally made a good song. I don't hear it.
Oof.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Really, I'm just putting this here because I do not want to hear anything about Chris Brown or anything from him ever again, especially after what happened with him in churches.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
screw him for that.
Oh yeah, he was a
100%.
major asshole for that.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I did think like, of course, like fuck Chris Brown, but
Mhm.
I feel like the song, at least to me, was kind of decent. It had a really cool like bouncy beat to it, and it is very catchy. But yeah, I could 100% understand putting it on the worst list.
Let me put it like this. Whenever Chris Brown puts out something tolerable, it's never because of him.
Oh yeah,
No, it's not. It's not.
yeah, it's all the elements around him.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess moving on to my number 10, I have "Famous Friends" by Chris Young and Kane Brown. Um.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
So to me, it just didn't do like I was just so bored listening through the whole thing, and it's this is a like nitpick, but it's like I get kind of being close to your small town, and I kind of relate to it, but it's just a bit weird. At least from I read the lyrics, like gatekeeping your small town, like you're never gonna understand the connection I have with the people I have back at home and stuff like that. And also, I didn't really find any chemistry between Kane Brown and Chris Young.
Yeah,
So,
I can see that.
yeah.
Yeah,
So that was
yeah,
my
it
main
doesn't
gripe with
really.
it.
Okay, yeah, I can see that. Yeah, and it's kind of like a little stale when it comes to the production and the
Hmm.
I kind of got your vibe from
Yeah.
that.
How about you, 999?
I don't really have anything to add.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
Um.
I guess,
So
yeah.
so all
999,
right.
you
So I
could
guess
start us. Oh,
yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say that we should probably start with 999 doing number 9 since
Yeah.
9 is. I mean, it's fitting
Oh.
since 9 is
Good
his
point.
username. So
Mhm.
Okay, so for my number 9, I'm gonna make a new rule. If you have beefed with Kanye West, you are not allowed to sample Right Said Fred. That applies to Taylor Swift and Drake.
fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Honestly, that is kind of funny. What is it with like beefing with Kanye? They're like, hey, let's sample "Way Too Sexy" or
Mhm.
"Too Sexy for My Shirt."
What's that quote from Phineas and Ferb? Like, if I had a nickel for every time this happened, I'd have 2 nickels.
Oh,
Like, that's not a lot, but it's weird that it happened
yeah,
twice.
Yeah.
that fits perfectly.
Oh yeah, it's wonderful.
uh,
Perfect quote to apply to this situation. Mm.
Yeah.
so
Actually, now that I think about it, Look What You Made Me Do and Way Too Sexy are like they use the same sample, but they're bad for different reasons. Because Look What You Made Me Do is just ill-conceived, and so is Way Too Sexy. But its biggest sin is taking what, as rap critics said, you could have fun with this concept, but it's just boring.
mm,
Mhm.
yeah, um, yeah. I don't know if maybe it shouldn't be hot. I don't know, but I feel like I find "Way Too Sexy" decent. Like the beat is, I think, is pretty good, and honestly, even though Drake and Young Thug have lackluster performances, I actually think Future kind of carries in a sense. Like, one, he's like the only presence during the whole thing, and I do think that "Way Too Sexy" uses the sample better than "Look What You Made Me Do" because it actually relates to it and it fits in more with the theme.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. Like that sample just really wasn't too fun for me. It just had nothing to do with the song. It's very dreary, and it kind of feels pretty lazy too. Like
Hmm.
you're just capitalizing on people's nostalgia for the '90s. So
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, that's all I have to say on "Way Too Sexy."
yeah. So for my number 9, I have "If I Didn't Love You" by Jason Aldean and Carrie Underwood. Um,
Oh, okay,
yeah,
okay,
this duet came off very disconnected. Like, also here, there's no chemistry, and really just nothing special about the production. And yeah, I also don't like Jason Aldean singing. Carrie Underwood did a pretty good job, but yeah, just really, it all just bored me.
okay. Yeah, when I listened to that song, it sounded pretty nice because Jason Aldean and Carrie Underwood, they are pretty good singers. But like I guess it just it doesn't really like click with me, especially given like Jason and Carrie's like some of the choices they've made
Oh
outside of
yeah,
music. But yeah,
that's
so it
kind of
kind of
what
has this
affects it.
like yeah, yeah. So it kind of has this like weird undertone for me, but it was a fine track. It was fine enough for me.
Hmm.
Triple
So do
nine.
you have anything to add?
No,
Okay.
Okay.
I I'm not gonna have anything to add for pretty much any country hit.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Um,
That's fair.
so Sundrop, what was your number 9?
All right. So here we go. You ready? Are you sure you're ready?
Yes.
All right. My number 9 pick was "Streets" by Doja Cat.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So it looks like I've chosen which group of stands I'm gonna get harassed by. so So I want to make it clear that I really do enjoy Doja Cat. Some people were turned off by Say So from last year, but I really did vibe with that song, even if Dr. Puke had his hand in making it. It was roller rink music at its finest. Best Friend is a great friendship anthem that actually earned its radio play, and You Right was a real contender for my best list. But this song, I can't give it a pass. We start with a good B2K sample, but once those 10 seconds are over, bam, in comes the real beat. There's so much intensity on the production that it gives off an incredibly eerie vibe. I don't get the sense that this is a sex jam. It feels more like a depressing breakup song or a tune you hear when you're taking a Xanny and you begin stumbling on the sidewalk. Doja's breathy singing just sounds too obnoxious to be hot, and even her rap verse doesn't fit. The beat is so drowned out and meandering that it has no energy to it. Doja performs best when she's given something that's jumpy or has a real kick to it. This entire verse just feels out of place. Not to mention, I'm kind of annoyed by the way she jumps to a higher pitch at the end of every line. Doja really has become a staple in rap music, but this song is just too unpleasant for me to get into. And I'm thanking God that I won't have to encounter it again when I listen to Planet Her.
Yeah. Um, I'm gonna have to say that's a massive hot take for me. Since I don't want to go into it because wink wink it might make a certain list. Yeah, I this song
Oh
in
God.
context, like let's set the setting, right? It's the beginning of January, right? Literally,
Mhm.
no Doja Cat song has ever clicked with me at all. Suddenly, I hear Streets, and then I get her career instantly. That's all I'm gonna say about this.
Okay, okay. All right. I'm sure you have another time you can expand on your thoughts. Wink, wink.
Yeah.
Um, but triple nine. Any thoughts on my take?
And what did I think of Streets? Hang on.
Oh God. Yeah.
Oh wow, I actually liked Streets.
Oh, look at that! Another person who disagrees with me.
Oh, I mean, I'm not gonna argue. It's just I I couldn't remember where I put in my personal ranking, but I apparently really liked it.
Okay.
But I'm sorry you didn't.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway,
I guess.
that's. Sorry,
Yeah.
what were you gonna say?
I guess I could start off with number 8 now.
Yeah, go for it.
So my number 8 has to be Heat Waves by Glass Animals.
Oh, okay. Wow.
So
Okay.
yeah, I freaking hate this song with, and I hate that it has so much longevity. Like I barely listen to radio, and when I was like on vacation a few weeks back, it was just like driving around when I had to listen to it. It was on like every 3 songs, and it just I could not stand it. The
Oh my God.
production is sparse in like such a horrible way. The lead singer can't sing for shit, and some of the lyrics come off as creepy and whiny. So thanks, Dream fans, for making this a hit. That's all I gotta say.
I don't know about Can't Sing. I thought their cover of Solar Power was decent.
Oh, I'm just talking about specifically on this song. I don't know about the other stuff, but um, yeah.
Their other stuff actually I really like. The Other Side of Paradise was great. They had this one collab with Denzel Curry that I thought was really fucking awesome.
Hmm.
Um, in fact, I would say I would put them in that category of artists who got big off of their worst hit.
Yeah.
Sort of like how Surfaces got big on Sunday Best, but the rest of their discography sounds amazing.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, I
The
would put them in that camp.
the only reason it's not lower is because I do feel like there are some cool production touches here and there. Like I do kind of like the drop from like that spacey like vaporwave into that to into the actual song, but that's probably the only thing. Everything else is just like I don't want to listen to it.
Okay. I,
Yeah.
I I can feel that. I can feel that. So anyway, let's go over to my number 8 pick, and that was "Without You" by the Kid Laroi.
Oof.
Yeah. So admittedly, I played this song many times throughout the year because it followed a certain other song that may or may not appear on my best list. We'll see. But once I really paid attention to the lyrics for this one, that's when it really started to turn sour on me. The thing with these sort of guitar ballads is that when you're just performing with your strings and your voice, the lyrics are what you put in the forefront. Those are what meant to drive the song forward and make listeners come back for more. With these lyrics, it's hard to get past just how bitter Kid Leroy is acting towards his ex. He just sounds so overdramatic on the chorus, like this breakup is gonna hurt him forever. She doesn't understand how badly she devastated him. Like, come on, dude. I'm pretty sure you're gonna persevere. Like, this was a major critique of Kid Leroy's mentor, Juice World, when he became a star. But Juice had a delivery and depth that could help you sympathize with him and capture the dreadful emotions he felt. Plus, having a complex sound was helpful, not just a guitar and a few backing vocals. It's difficult to feel sorry for Kid Leroy, especially when he tries to make his ex understand him by calling her a hoe. While many people have declared that as the worst 2 seconds of the song, I would actually give that title to the line, I lost my shit, you know I didn't mean it. I can count on my fingers the number of times when someone explaining their behavior by saying, I just lost my shit, didn't make them sound like a violent maniac. Without You is just a drag to listen to, and I hope it becomes a footnote in Kid Leroy's discography because my heart's not aching over this one.
Yeah, I agree with all that you said. I don't think it's particularly bad. I feel like there is enough weight throughout the song that it doesn't like lose me at any point. I do think that the Miley Cyrus remix is a lot better. I wish ended up being more successful. Because it does add another layer and it's not so m- monotonous the entire time. But yeah, I agree. It's not good whatsoever.
Yeah. What do you have to say about that 999?
Can't argue with any of those points.
Okay, there you go. So 999, what was your number 8 pick?
My number 8. I have a question. Did anyone like that Nelly remix produced by Florida Georgia Line? No? Well, too bad, because they did it again.
There you go. 999?
Yeah, still here.
Okay, cool.
Number 8 is a little bit.
All right,
by
there
Nelly and Florida Georgia Line.
There you go. Wonderful.
I wondered briefly if maybe Nelly, if this is like beneath him. I do remember listening to Nellyville, the album that got nominated for Album of the Year Grammy.
Okay.
Was that the one with Hot Year? I haven't listened to Country Grammy, but I know I've listened to one of his albums. And then thinking about that album, I was like, actually, there's a recurring skit on that album where this guy is like trying to find a copy of the Nelly album to play for him and his lady friend. But all the copies are sold out, and the only one he can find is the clean version. And I'm thinking, you know what? No, this isn't beneath Nelly.
Hey, by the way, 999, what's the I hear a little bit of background noise on your end.
I'm in a completely empty room.
Okay.
So I don't know what you might be hearing.
Okay, I just wanted to. Yeah, I just wanted to. Yeah. But yeah, a little bit. Yeah, little bit was sort of like a guilty pleasure for myself. I did kind of like the little banjo they have on the chorus or like the post chorus. That was really catchy, and the rhymes that they spew, not too bad. Yeah, I wouldn't exactly put it on a best list, but yeah, it was just my personal guilty pleasure for the year.
Yeah. Yeah, same. I mean, I don't think it's particularly all that even decent, but I don't think it was bad whatsoever. It seemed like everyone there was having fun. It certainly fit better than their last collab. What was it, like Cruise?
Yeah, I actually would put it above Cruise.
Oh, what was it? Just called Cruise?
Cruise, yeah.
Yeah.
Cruise.
So I would definitely say that it's a step up from that. But yeah,
I don't even care enough about the original song. Or I don't even care enough to get the title. How about that?
Okay.
So 999, why don't you start us off with your number 7?
Didn't I start off with number 10 and then I'm just trying to remember the order.
Oh yeah, you go.
Okay, cool. All right, so my number 7 pick was "What's Next" by Drake.
Oh,
Yeah. So funny enough, this was the last minute change I made to the list. When I was typing my thoughts for each entry, this was the one that I swapped out "Lil Baby" for. But yeah, this song just gets under my skin. With how much everyone has been clowning on Drake after the release of Certified Lover Boy, I figured I should throw my hat into the ring. But why is it? Why is it that this track is featured in the top 10 rather than the one where he fetishizes lesbians or butchers a fun 90s jam? Well, I placed most of my aggravation on the beats. The way the composition follows the same structure in the whole 3 minute runtime. It just feels like you're going up and down a slope on a winding road with no real turns or stops to break up the flow. Not only that, but the sound is mixed way too damn loud. It's like I can barely hear what Drake is rapping on the verses. Speaking of which, some of these lines are just pretty hilarious to me. Like when he's addressing the public's questions about what he's been doing all year and he says, "I'm just resting and stretching, okay?" Granted, if I were a rapper with his status, that could annoy me too. But his defensiveness in the chorus sort of messes up the whole gangsta image he's trying to display. There's also a few other things that agitate me, like how he framed drinking as a good reliever for stress, the way he complains about potholes in the first and second verse, and the way he repeats his words too much in the chorus. Everyone else will have their own Drake songs to place on their lists, but what's next is what I find to be totally uncertified.
um, again, a huge hot take for me. I I didn't I didn't love the song. It's pretty standard in terms of, Drake, but I really liked it. There's a lot of good wordplay. I actually thought the line, like, and like last year I had sex, okay, something like that. Like, I don't know. You can tell that Drake's having fun. I think the beat's pretty cool. It has kind of like a video game energy to it. Um,
Okay.
but yeah,
Didn't he have a song a while ago that literally sampled Donkey Kong music?
I don't
I'm not
know.
sure.
Um, what was that song? I admit it. I admit it.
Is that it's not uh I'm upset, right? I don't think so.
No. It's definitely not. I'm upset.
Um, yeah, I'm not sure about that, but yeah, I really like what's next. So yeah, pretty
Okay.
big hot take there for me.
Triple Nine. Any thoughts?
Six God. That was the song.
Okay.
No. Okay. Nice. But what do you think of my entry?
Yeah. Good pick.
Okay.
Or, bad pick. I should say. Whichever one makes more sense.
Okay. All right. So
Um,
what about you, Triple Nine? What was your number 7 pick?
Might be a hot take here. Mood.
Mood.
oh,
I don't know if it counts because it's from 2020 or because the majority of opinions I've seen of the song were positive, but just something about the way the song sounds, the way the vocals sound, just irritates. Just rubs me the wrong way. It's like there are certain foods I don't like because of the texture when I chew on them. This song is the musical equivalent.
All right. So we got we
um,
got another spicy little take here, don't we?
yeah. Um, I didn't include Mood on the list because I didn't put repeats, but if it was on the list, it would easily be like top three or top five for me.
For the worst list.
I no, for the best list. I
Oh, for the best.
freaking
Okay.
yeah. I freaking love
Yeah.
that song. It's
Yeah. Mood. Yeah.
I
Mood's
would
awesome.
say it's one of the catchiest songs I've ever heard, and it's just one of
Ever.
the yeah probably ever for me. Like the lightning in a bottle that 24K Golden and Ian Dior has in that track for me. I think they're never gonna be able to match it, and it, I'm glad it actually hit number one and was such a big hit to the point where it was like was it top 30 in like the biggest hits of all time, something like that.
Possibly. I'm not sure, but yeah,
Yeah,
I wouldn't know. I haven't checked.
yeah.
But
I'm also glad that it
damn,
got picked.
that's huge.
I know,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, so that would definitely be a hot take for me. But
Yeah, I am glad that Mood got as big as it did. But yeah. So anyway, 999. Why don't you start us off with our number 6 picks?
oh, I never said my number 7.
Oh, sorry
It's
about
okay.
that. Sorry about that.
It's okay. Yeah. So for my number 7, it's "The Good Ones" by Gabby Barrett.
Okay.
Um, really not much to say. I've never really liked Gabby's presence on the charts. I hated um I Hope.
I
Even
hope,
though The
yeah.
Good Ones is the teensiest bit better, it's still very annoying to me. It a horrible production, just like there was on I Hope, and a very toxic outlook on people, and a mixture of those just created for like a horrible song. Like saying he's one of the good ones, quote unquote, is just so icky to me.
Yeah. I feel that. I feel that. Um, don't really have much to say on Gabby Barrett. I'm pretty sure like Twitter's already done enough of that for me. Um,
Hmm.
but yeah. Do you think we could just move on to number 6 picks then?
Sure.
All right, cool. 999. Why don't you start us off?
You can just copy my criticisms of Mood and paste them onto Bad Bunny's Yonaguni. Is that how you pronounce it?
I think
Oof.
so.
Yeah, that. And look, I'm totally cool with the the popularity of Spanish language music
Hmm.
in the United States. I've been taking classes since middle school, or classes between middle school and college. I have a huge amount of respect for the language, and I know that, you know, what is Spanish culture if not for the love of the language, the pride in the language,
Right.
and also the love of music, of
Hmm.
course. That doesn't necessarily mean everything that comes out of, you know, Spanish speaking trends is going to get my full support.
Right.
Hmm. Um, yeah, I actually thought that Yonaguni was pretty decent. It's not like the best, but I think the beat kind of makes it for me. The what Tiny did during the chorus, during that like breakdown was pretty cool. But yeah, other than that, I don't
It's
have
the
much to say.
I should say it's the vocals.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's the vocals that put it here.
Hmm.
I really have no thoughts on the song. I thought it was pretty fine. It was kind of, whatever. Yeah, that's my take on the song.
Hmm. Um, yeah. Should I get to my number 7 or number
Uh,
6?
y- yeah, go
Number
for it.
6, go ahead.
Go
Yeah.
for it.
So this is a repeat from one of your lists. It's a Good Time by Nico Moon.
Okay, there you
Um,
go.
yep, we finally got here. So my what I have to say about this song is Nico Moon during the song just seemed like the type of person to just not put any effort into the song. Um, it's just seemed like he was like, "Oh, let's just mesh trap and country together," like just like you said, Sundrop, and it's going to be cool for the kids that we have trap elements, and it just for me came off incredibly cringe and desperate, and it did not. I was not having a good time. So
Wonderful.
so yeah, those are my thoughts.
Nice. Okay, okay. So, since I already talked about a good time, I think we can move on to my number 6 pick, which was another country song,
Mhm.
and that was "Just the Way" by Parmalee and Blanco Brown.
Ooh.
Another one of these songs. Once again, we have a bunch of dudes telling this girl that she shouldn't feel insecure about herself because to him those imperfections are what make her special. It's always awkward because you don't want to shame the people who enjoy these songs and use it to lift themselves up. This isn't helped by the fact that it's accompanied with one of those videos where they show a bunch of people with features that society would deem as abnormal and tell them that they're perfectly fine. Like, I'm sure those people appreciate the gesture, but good lord.
Do we know if there's anyone who actually uses the song in that way as like empowering?
Well, I'm really not sure, but if they do, like, why does it have to be so bland? Like, seriously, this song has nothing interesting going on for it, not even in its production. At least with a song like "Scars to Your Beautiful," you have Alessia Cara's terrific singing voice. This song's production is so polished and cliche that it's just a whole slog. Even when I played it, I kept looking at the runtime to see when it was nearing the end. In fact, I can't believe I've been able to say this much about it because there's nothing to sink my teeth into whatsoever. Like Sean really wasn't playing when he said country was in a horrid state right now.
Yeah. I have a lot, like, I mean, I don't have a lot, so I'm just gonna restrain myself for now because Wink Wink might show up later. But yeah, this song I'll just say it does make me angry, but that'll be my only comment for now.
Okay. So I guess with that we can move on to our number 5 picks.
Yes. I
All right,
think I'm
great.
starting, right?
Yeah, you're starting.
So my number 5 pick has to be "Bang" by AJR.
Oh, there it
Another
is.
repeat from Triple Nine. Um, I like to explain the song as like being in an uncanny valley. Like, if to me it doesn't even feel like a song. It just feels like a bunch of notes unrelated scrunched together like they were trying to make a song, but it didn't end up coming through. Um and I will say, even as insufferable it is to get through the song, as a New Yorker, I did appreciate the guy before the chorus, going "Here we go," and like the
Mm,
metronome, those lines. It did boost it a bit up for me, um,
okay.
because like every day I'm hearing that guy being like, "Please watch the gap between the train and the platform," and to me it's just so hilarious that they got him on the song. But yeah,
Mhm.
that's
For
my number
me,
5.
okay. Yeah, see, like, I actually didn't. So, yeah, it was AJR's bang is just so clunky and weird, but, like, I decided to leave it off because, like, I mean, there are a few risks that they're taking. Like, they are experimenting a little, and honestly, it doesn't seem too much of a
Oh,
big deal. So, I was like, I'll give these boys a pass.
yeah. Just sorry, an added note. I also hate Jack Met. Is it Jack the one? Is it him that's singing? I think so. Uh,
Are you trying to remember which guy has the hat?
yeah. I hate his singing. That's all. That's all I'm trying to get.
Okay. Okay.
Um, but yeah.
Okay. And I think triple nine already had banging the dishonorable mentions, right?
No, it was on my list proper.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, okay. So
Or wait. Let me check. Oh no, it was a dishonorable mention. I'm sorry.
okay, cool. All right, so then we pretty much all have our thoughts in it then. So I'll go to my number 5. I promise you this is going to be the final controversial pick. All right,
Okay.
cross my heart, hope to die.
We'll see.
Calling My Phone by Lil TJ and Black.
Oh,
Okay, so
yeah.
all right, cool. So I was really expecting some pushback there, but well, it looks like
Yeah.
I came out unscathed this time.
Yeah.
So this one might
I was pretty mad on that song.
okay.
Yeah.
So
Me too.
this one might require some explaining. Basically, you have this guy singing to his girl about how he feels much better without her and how he's soaring to much bigger heights now that he's dumped her. To be frank, Lil TJ doesn't seem like he's handling this breakup maturely, which is rubbing it in his ex's face that he's swimming in a life of luxury while she isn't. This wouldn't be too much of an issue in any other song. It's fun whenever you get to brag about your accomplishments to someone who was such a blunder in your life. But the big problem here is that we're never really told what happened during the relationship. Lil TJ just expects us to believe that this girl was treating him like shit, even though he provides no specific details. And look, maybe his ex was a terrible lover to him, so much that she had this song coming. But the lack of context he gives us feels pretty sus. But if you want to know what really threw this song over the top for me, it was the post chorus where the girl is repeatedly singing, "I can't get you off my mind." And I'll give Kid Leroy some credit. He may have come across as petty when singing to his ex, but at least he didn't go out of his way to frame her as an obsessive freak who can't survive without him. The song just has so many unfortunate implications. The downer beat only adds to the unpleasant atmosphere, and Black's smooth vocals aren't enough to save it. This is one piece of work that I definitely won't be calling back up. So yeah, those are my thoughts.
Yeah, I would say calling my phone. It's a bit boring for me. The reason it's not in bad tier is because uh, it does have that one catchy fragment in the middle about like can't get you out my mind. That one, like the chipmunk vocal.
Okay.
That kind of grabs me in, but then literally everything else surrounding that is just boring. And Lil TJ, I mean, I'm glad that Six Lack finally has a hit, but
Mm-hmm.
Lil TJ and Six Lack almost have no presence on the song whatsoever. So
No, they do not. Uh, Triple Nine, what do you have to say?
I said my piece on it. I was pretty mad on the song.
Okay. And I think we still have to hear your number 5, 999.
I'm gonna go for the low hanging fruit here.
Okay.
Speaking of which, you know where you won't find fruit?
Where?
Applebee's
Oh,
on a
God.
date night.
Here we go. It had to be started by somebody.
Yep. We're going there.
All right, do it. Bring it on.
Fancy like. It is. So I had read somewhere that Robin Thicke intended for Blurred Lines to be like a fun little song for his wife.
Oh,
And
God.
from what I understand, Walker Hayes had the same intentions. But it's not like problematic in the same way that Blurred Lines was.
Mhm.
It's just annoying.
Yeah. Oh God.
yeah. So
Oh yeah.
are you done, 999? Or
Yeah, that's it.
okay.
Oh,
If I have to
yeah.
be the fancy like defender, I will be, because it's not good, but I think it's pretty decent. Like, I don't know. I have fun listening to the song. Walker Hayes seems like a pretty cool dude. Um, it is cheesy, but he's so not serious with it. If he was serious, it would have ruined it. Like if he was serious about everything, but he's so non-serious that, and just having fun with it, that I don't know. I like listening to the song. I think
You
it's
know what I
pretty
just
decent.
realized? That doesn't this kind of, if I said this had like a hint of AJR in it, would you believe me?
Yeah, I could see AJR making something like fancy like.
Oh God. My thoughts on Fancy Like are gonna be saved for later because I have.
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
Sundrop put it high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you'll know what I have to say about it in a moment. But why don't you say we move on to our number 4 picks?
Mhm.
Yes.
All right. Cool. All right. So I'll start us off. Number 4, One Too Many by Keith Urban and Pink.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. Right. So this
Another repeat.
Yeah, no, it is another repeat. This song gives a bunch of details about the singer's love life, and somehow it comes out even worse. The premise is that Pink is deeply upset with Keith Urban because he came home drunk last night and couldn't even make it to the bed. She even screams at him and cries over how plastered he got. Right away, it's established that these two are going through some big struggles in their relationship. Now, these types of songs can be fine, where you learn how to accept the more dysfunctional elements of your love life because there's still something worthwhile about your partner. What really makes me worried is when Pink reveals that this same situation has happened repeatedly. Like he keeps blowing his money on alcohol, keeps getting drunk, keeps hanging out with strangers, and Pink tells herself that they can endure the turmoil. Like, I'm sorry, but this does not sound like a healthy relationship the two of you are in. It's best to look into a divorce or at least a marriage counselor. You shouldn't be constantly fighting and telling yourselves that it's all worth it. Of course, the production isn't better. It's way too polished, and it goes for this faux bluesy atmosphere with its organ. They then have everyone sing in the supposed bar to the song about a toxic romance, and the icing on the cake would have to be the guitar solo at the end because the song isn't epic enough that it's warranted. Keith Urban and Pink asked themselves in the chorus where they went wrong, and I can tell you it's when they hatched this weird tune.
Yeah. Um,
Mhm.
since I didn't have a lot to say about it in my dishonorable mentions, I'll just say that I wish Pink was doing something more with her career instead of doing all these country hits. Because, I mean, she doesn't even. I feel like she has so much talent left in her. She should just use it, you know?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
Keith
agreed.
Urban too, to an extent. But yeah, it's like they're on autopilot and it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Pink feels to me like someone who's trying to make pop music with a kind of like rock and roll attitude to her presentation. Like You in Your Hands is a pretty good example of that. Or just like, I'm not here to please you. You could just go home and please yourself.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like there's. I don't. I mean, she is kind of a veteran at this point, but I still think there is so much like untapped potential in her still. Like, there's so much artistry she can still share, and she shouldn't be like blowing it on this.
Hmm.
So, anyway, 999. Why don't you share with us your number 4 pick?
Rit Momney, put your records on.
Ah, there it is.
Okay.
I will confess, I did not know this was a cover at first. I'm gonna tell you a little story. So, do
Okay.
you guys know the Tracy Chapman song "Give Me One Reason"?
I know
Uh,
Tracy Chapman. Don't know that song though.
yeah.
Okay. So she had a huge hit in the mid '90s. So I guess in a sense she's like a two-hit wonder, at least where the Hot 100 is concerned, because she's had more hits on like adult alternative. And there's this band, Blackstone Cherry, who did a cover of her song, Give Me One Reason.
Hmm.
And I heard that song before I heard the original. And when I heard the original, I was like, oh, the cover is just pointless. It doesn't need to exist.
Hmm.
Uh, what Rit Momney does with the original is kind of worse than just being pointless. It because it was I, uh, Double Agent said something about like, man, I really wish the original was a hit instead of this. If you set that aside, it's just gross. This version,
Hmm.
like I get what they were like. I could see some version of what they were doing with it working. Like it has this very sparkly, dreamlike feel to it. It's just again the vocals just really irritate me.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel you. Um, my thoughts on put your records on. You guys are gonna be hearing soon, like
Okay.
very, very, very soon. So I'll save them for that soon enough
Um,
time.
I don't know. I didn't know this was a hot take, but I actually really like Put Your Records on the cover. Rip Momney is a pretty stupid name, but
Yeah, it is.
I like the cover. I think it does because usually covers they don't do enough different with it. I feel like Rip Momney gives it a lot of cool production elements. And I mean, I could see why people find that ending part annoying. I don't really mind it. Um, I do kind of like that electronic spacey production throughout the song though. And I kind of don't see singing as like actual singing, like more used as an instrument during the cover. But yeah,
Okay.
those are my thoughts.
Okay. And Roadrunner, I think you have a number 4 pick to reveal.
Yes, number four for me would be "Drinking Beer, Talking God, Amen" by Chase Rice and Florida Georgia Line. Um,
That
Okay.
has to be like that sounds like a parody
I
of
know,
country song titles.
I
It
know.
is.
It's like my I don't have a big description. I said, why do I want to hear a bunch of guys just talking about God while drinking beer? Am I right? But yeah, these lyrics are insufferable. The instrumentation does nothing for me. And this song made it at 99 on the year-end list. As much as
Just
I have my
barely.
reservations about Drunk and I Don't Want to Go Home, it definitely deserved the spot on the year-end over this piece of crap song.
Okay. Yeah,
So,
that one was kind of like a nothing of a song when I listened to it. It was like whatever. It checked off so many country cliches, but you know, it was
mhm,
nothing that really got on my nerves.
yeah,
Um, so I think with that we can move on to number three, and why don't 999 you
yeah.
start us off? I know that tune. I know that tune.
Yeah, it's Crybaby.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. There you go.
Um, so please recall what I said about Go Crazy. Apply that to here. I just never want to think about the baby again. I mean, intro and Shug were fun, and his verse on Levitating was cool, I guess. But yeah, after what happened with him this year, just no.
Yeah.
He's gonna have to do a lot to win back everyone's goodwill.
hmm Of course.
And to be clear, it's not like the song is great and he just turned out to be an asshole, because there have been plenty. The world of popular music is full of assholes who make great music.
hmm
Oh,
This song is not one of those times.
No.
sorry, I didn't hear any of that. My Wi-Fi just cut out. So, uh,
Oh, can you hear me now?
yeah. Um, so sorry,
So,
999 just went, right?
Yeah, 999 just went.
I was explaining my number three choice,
And what was the number three choice?
Crybaby.
Oh, okay.
So, it's not like the song was good and then all the stuff with DaBaby happened and now I can't stand the song. No, the song wasn't great to begin with. And like, I listened to Megan Thee Stallion's album from was it last year?
Yeah.
And like, Shots Fired was a great opening track, but then over the course of the album, it's like, okay, we get it. You're good at sex. Can you please rap about something else? And this song is just like, again, please rap about something else.
hmm
Also, maybe this is just me, but by the end of that album, you will get tired of her doing that.
Oh yeah.
hmm
She does it constantly.
hmm
Like, it was fine on WAP, but not like 20 times a song.
hmm
Yeah.
I feel
Um.
that. I feel that. I pretty much share my thoughts on Crybaby. So
Yeah, me too. Um.
yes, yeah.
So yeah, I guess I could go with my number three. Um. My number three would have to be "Your Mind Still" by Young Blue featuring Drake.
Okay.
Um. Yeah, I've never heard such a non-presence on a rap song before, and the thing that irked me the most is that it used the sample of "Shape of My Heart" by Sting, which was literally used like 3 years ago by a song a million times better, um, "Lucid Dreams" by Juice World.
Yeah.
And it's I can't help but make the comparison because they sound so similar. And this is like Young Blue is phoning it in. Drake is phoning it in hard. I've never been so bored by a Drake verse before, which I know is surprising, but um yeah, nothing appealing here. And it got to the point where I was just like, yeah, Young Blue is also very whiny um and his lyrics he did not seem justified within the narrative he was trying to set during the song.
Hmm. Yeah. So this was just another whatever song for me. Didn't really have many thoughts on it, so kind of like shrugged it off.
Yeah.
999, any thoughts?
I'm saving them.
Oh,
Ooh.
okay.
Okay.
Wonderful, wonderful. All right, so then I guess I'll reveal my number 3 pick, and that was "I'll Put Your Records On" by Mitt Romney.
Okay.
This one just felt like a no-brainer. You have someone taking a beloved classic and butchering it like a pig. I've been down that road with "Dancing on My Own." It's not pleasant. It's unfortunate because the cover doesn't have too bad of an opening. The overuse of autotune is pretty obvious, but I did admire the glossy piano, which does capture the calming, joyous atmosphere of the original. It was going so well right up until the 45-second mark, which is when the ugly beat kicks in and makes a whole mess of the track. The high pitched notes just sound like a freaking Mario game playing in the background. Like I'm surprised Chris Pratt didn't cameo in the video. Uh, yeah, Rip Romney's performance.
He would have done it. He's in everything now.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Mitt Romney's performance. I said it. Rip Romney's performance is another layer of bad.
Hey guys, I'm starting a new band called Mom Jacane. Want to join?
There
Jacane.
you go. There you go. He sounds extremely robotic in the whole runtime, and there's no real emotion coming out through his singing. And who could forget the outro where he does a tempo change in a bizarre attempt to intensify the whole listening experience? I don't even see "Put Your Records On" as a song that needed to be remade. The original is fun, charming, down to earth, and has so many flavors in its instrumentation. But even have someone who wants it untouched, the new version didn't need to suck this much. Like, I'm praying for Rit Nomney to score another viral TikTok trend because this is not something you would want to define your career.
Yeah. Let me just add, since we got to the song again, I do think that the original is way better than the cover. Yeah,
Mm.
but yeah, the Corinne Bailey Ray version is really great.
Yeah, it is great, honestly.
I have a bit of a story, and then I'll let you continue. One time, it was at the start of the year. It was in January. I was playing "Put Your Records On" the piano, and my mom was like, "What song is that?" It's called "Put Your Records On." Who's it by? I couldn't remember her name, so I was like, Corinne something, and my mom said, Michelle Branch.
Oh no.
Who's
Oh
that?
god.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Oh god. Um. So yeah.
So should I go on to my number 2 pick?
Yeah. Go. Let's do
Yes.
twos.
Okay. Yeah, my number 2 pick. My number 2 pick is "Beautiful Mistakes" by Maroon 5 featuring Megan Thee Stallion.
Oh yay.
Yes. And this is a bit surprising because I've been somewhat of a Maroon 5 defender. Even I did like a lot of their stuff off of Red Pill Blues.
Okay.
But literally the whole album, Jordy, is just boring in like all the worst ways. The Beautiful Mistakes is Adam Levine at his most like autopilot slash annoying slash irritating. And his vocal performance too, I couldn't stand in. Um, you know, I kind of like I do think that Black Bear has been getting a lot of good and great stuff, even though he does get a lot of hate. His writing here just seems the most pandering out of everything, and I can't admit his writing can be very pandering at times, but yeah, that along with Megan Thee Stallion, who I didn't even like her verse here. She it didn't impress me whatsoever, and the instrumental is so bland. Um, if they continue making songs like these, it would be nice to have them nowhere near the charts. So that was my
Nice.
last comment.
Yeah, I already shared my thoughts on "Beautiful Mistakes." Glad to see someone had the guts to put it higher than I did.
Yeah.
999, any thoughts?
No, I have nothing to add.
Okay, so I guess we'll then move on to my number 2 pick, which was "Throw Baby Go Baby" by BRS Cash.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah, TikTok has given us so many amazing hits over the last 2 years, but this ain't one of them. I shouldn't even go into great detail about the premise because the title says it all. It's a BJ anthem. BRS Cash spends the whole song bragging about how good his girl is at giving him head and how she could pass as an expert in the art of fellatio. That's literally all he talks about on the track. BRS Cash wrote this song as a joke, but not only did blowjob jokes stop being funny to me by the end of middle school, the jokes didn't have to include lines so vomit inducing. Like I don't even want to say them out loud. Like I really didn't need to picture that. The last time we had a song dedicated to blowjobs was Flow Rider's Whistle from 2012. Yeah, in hindsight, it's crazy how we allowed that to top the Hot 100. But at the very least, Flow Rider could write some catchy lyrics and beats that could instantly hook you in. With BRS Cash, there's really nothing pleasing aesthetically. What stops us from being number one is that I can see someone having a good laugh from the lyrics since it is trying to be funny on purpose. Still, I ain't revisiting this song that even my 12-year-old self would roll his eyes at.
Uh, yeah, I mean, I can definitely understand why people wouldn't like this. I actually thought it was pretty decent. I'm one of the people that maybe it's immature of me, but just freaking BRS Cash just going on and on about BJ's just was so hilarious to me. Like different, just saying different innuendos, stuff like that. I don't know. And I do
Okay.
think that the remix with City Girls and the Bay did add a little bit of spice to it, but yeah.
Okay. Triple Nine, any thoughts?
No.
Okay. So Triple Nine, why don't you tell us your number two pick?
My number 2 pick for the worst. Oh, sorry. I should rephrase this. My pick for the second worst hit on the year-end Hot 100 is "Industry Baby" by. No, I'm not doing
Oh
that.
my God, you almost
No,
got me.
no.
You
Yeah.
We
almost
ain't.
got
No, we
me.
ain't doing that. We ain't doing that.
Yeah. Although Lil Nas X is the kind of person who would do that.
Yeah.
No, it's Back in Blood.
Back in
Okay.
Blood. Okay. By who? By who again?
Yes.
Who's that?
Pooh Shiesty featuring Lil Durk.
Okay,
Who's
I got
shiesty?
you. Who should I see? Okay.
Yeah. Stupid name. Terrible song. It's just again the vocals and there's just nothing lyrically to connect to. Beat didn't really impress me. It's just the thing about the food texture analogy, just at its worst, or second worst, rather.
Um,
Yeah, I actually don't remember this song at all. Probably for the best.
Exactly. That's how bad it is.
I actually this one grew on me a lot throughout throughout the year. I started out thinking it was meh. I never really thought it was bad. Um, but do you guys know what Channel 5 News is?
Yeah.
It's a YouTube channel.
Is that gonna make the meaning of this worse?
No, it kind of changed the context for me because basically like Channel 5 News, if you don't know, they just go around interviewing random people about stuff, and like there was just a bunch of guys on spring break, and they were like the like whitest dudes in the world, and they were all just like he all he did was hold up the camera, like not the hold up the mic to the like group of guys or whatever, and all of them just started screaming lines from the Back in Blood song. And I don't know,
Oh
something
God.
about that. I'm like, has this song just really like taken over like that? And when I put it in that context, well, one, I do kind of find the I really like the instrumental, and I mean, I really wish that Little Dirk would have a solo hit by now. Um, but other than that, yeah, I really like the song. Um, but
Your story reminded me there was a headline years ago about this video on a bus of these guys in a college fraternity singing this very racist song.
Oh God.
oh wow.
Do you know do you know the one I'm talking about?
Um,
Look up
No.
SAE racist song. You'll know
Okay,
what I'm talking
I don't
about.
even want to dig into that story.
Yeah. But yeah, I was actually gonna say something else, but oh yeah, Pooh Shiesty is a really dumb name. I'll say that.
Yeah, there you go. All right,
Okay.
so here we go. So you ready for the grand finale, boys?
Yes.
All right, so we're
Let's
gonna.
all say
Yeah.
our number one at the same time. I don't know if it's gonna come through the mics, but this should be really funny.
Okay,
I'll
so
count down 3, 2, 1, and then we all say our number one picks. Okay.
all right,
And then
go.
we explain starting from Sundrop. Okay.
All right,
3, 2, 1. Just the way
Fancy
Industry
by
like.
baby.
Parmalee and Blanco. What?
Okay,
I'm sorry, I had to. You're mine
Okay.
still.
Okay. Yeah.
okay. All right, so should we start with me?
Yeah.
All right, so okay, so again, my number one pick is "Fancy Like" by Walker Hayes.
Yeah.
Base.
Thank you. Taking the crown from my list is a pick so obvious that people may have expected me to pull a bait and switch and top the list with something else. This is essentially the free space for everyone's worst list of the year. But honestly, can you blame them? This song is fascinating in how bad it is. From its awkward bass drop to its obnoxious guitar riff to Walker Hayes' impassionate singing. Like, easily the worst part is all the brands he name drops throughout the song. I counted, there's product placement for 8 different products. How much do you want to bet that Walker Hayes produced this song specifically so it could get picked up by one of these companies for a commercial? Yeah, I'm sure you're very surprised Applebee's eventually used it.
That's why the AJR comparison occurred to me, because like they have a song called Netflix Trip.
Oh yeah. They also
Oh,
have a song called "Beats by Dre" too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
yeah.
And it's about how, hey, what if we got sponsored by Beats by Dre or something?
Corporation.
And I think maybe they're trying to be sarcastic, but like that defense does not apply to Walker Hayes here.
Like the
Because
only
like he sounds like he's being very genuine.
right. Now, Fancy Like technically wasn't the biggest country song of the year. That went to Luke Combs' Better Together, but it was easily the most talked about country song of the year. Given how successful it was on TikTok, this is probably going to give people a negative perception of what country music is like for years to come. Like, this is the song that might actually hurt the genre in the long run. And wouldn't you know it, this is the second country song on my list to shout out Dixieland Delight. Oh, how everything has come full circle. All I have to say is that I hope they gave Kesha a big paycheck for the remix because she deserves much better than this. This song just agitates me to my core, and the further in the past we leave it, the better. Fancy Like, my worst hit song of 2021.
Yeah. I've said my
All right.
piece on "Fancy Like," so I won't. Yeah, I have nothing else to add.
Okay. 999. What was your number one again?
You're mine still.
By who?
Well, I mean, it was on one of your lists before.
Yeah.
How did you already forget?
Your Mind Still?
Yeah.
Let me see. But yeah, go on. You can explain your thoughts.
Yeah.
So I remember when Todd in the Shadows put Lucid Dreams by Juice WRLD on his worst list. And I remember what he said about the song in his review. And I'm thinking the criticisms of that song could also apply to Your Mind Still. But what Your Mind Still does is just worse. Because Lucid Dreams is just like, girls are all the same. They're all fake. They're not genuine. Your Mind Still is like a guy pleading for a girl to come back to him and making the absolute worst possible case for why she should.
Agreed.
Mm-hmm.
Like the music video is essentially reenacting the ending of The Graduate, but missing the point.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah. I mean, since it was already on my list, I already said what I had to say about it. It is horrible, and yeah.
And then Roadrunner. What was your number one pick?
Yeah, my number one book was also talked about before. It's Just the Way by Parmalee and Blanco Brown.
There we
Yeah,
go.
I just I freaking hate the sentiment of this song. Like, yeah, this probably was the song this year that annoyed me the most. It just kind of being this low at like number one just kind of led up to like me like seeing Blanco Brown always hopping on trends like with he tried to recreate Old Town Road in 2019 and Parmalee I also heard have kind of like a bad history. So them doing this song and actually getting rewarded by going on the year end, even though the sentiment is like horrible and it's probably one. I mean, if you actually pull it off well, it can be fine. But they're so douchey in the way they and they in the way they actually talk about it and it's just one eye roll worthy line after another. Um, and yeah, those are my thoughts on it.
Okay, so there we go. So Fancy Like, Just
Yeah,
Away, and Hold Your Mind Still. There you go. Our three biggest, worst songs of the year. So, boys, looks like we reached the end. We made it.
yes.
Yes,
And
and so
that just means, sorry, you
no,
go.
no, you go.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that just means we get to be more positive on our best list coming out
Yes,
soon. And
yes,
well, I'm gonna have a lot more to say about songs I really loved this year than songs I hated. So it should be good.
yes, absolutely
When
fine.
we say soon, do we mean soon like the way most people do, or soon like when ours say soon and then they don't release it for like a whole year?
Um,
Because
hopefully
I
the
don't know,
former.
we're pretty busy guys.
Mhm.
yeah. Um,
Yeah, we.
it should
But
be
don't
coming
worry,
out
we
soon though.
yes, we'll make sure that everyone gets it at
Yes.
a very very soon date. So, but yeah, I think this is where we'll end the video. And thank you guys so much for watching us. It was a lot of fun to do this, and I cannot wait to do it again in a few days. All
Mm-hmm.
right, so Triple Nine, would you like to read the outro?
Um, yeah, hang on, let me pull it up.
All right, all right.
Should I do the trucker voice for this?
If
Sure,
you
if you
want to.
want to.
I would probably suck at
All right, but go for
it.
it. Go for it anyways.
Doesn't
You feel
hurt to
confident.
try.
Solar power should have been a bigger hit. No, that's not one. But
Base.
it should have been.
Face.
So thank you all for listening. This is where you get off. Hopefully, you will take a trip with us again soon. Before we let you go, we would like to ask you to subscribe and like the video if you enjoyed the ride. Again, thank you for joining us, and we'll see you on the next trip.
Goodbye.